Hey guys, this is James from TeaDB, bringing you InBetweenIsode number 32. So as you can tell, I'm filming this back-to-back with 31. So today I am drinking a 2010 Youle from Yunnan Sourcing. And this tea, I picked up a cake blindly a while ago, and I've drank it a few times, and I'm drinking this sort of as part of, in comparison to some of the other teas that I've had this month, this being May and being the Youle month. Check out that Youle report, which should be coming out this Saturday, June 6th. I checked my calendar. Yeah, so this one, I think it's reasonably priced at mid-30s, $35, $36 for a 250-gram cake. You're, at this point, getting 5 years of storage on it, which is nice. Yeah, let's get drinking. And, you know, you might get all tea nerd out and be like, Youle isn't from Youle. They're different. And, I mean, you wouldn't be totally wrong, but I would encourage everyone to not follow the regions and take them too seriously when you're drinking tea. Judge the tea on its own merits, and put a lot more weight into that. So in comparison to the other two teas, which I just had, the aroma of this is very inviting. I would say the aroma of this is actually the best of the three teas. It has sort of a floral character to it, with some pretty obvious fruit built in, far more fruit than either of the other two teas. And so, similar to the other two teas, I am on my third infusion already. So that's 2 rinses and 2 infusions. You could probably do run and rinse on any of the last teas, but I just like to get to the good stuff quicker. And I am not too worried about wasting some of these teas because they're not too expensive and because I have way too much tea in the first place. Alright, so let's have a sniff. Really nice aroma. It's got some fruit, but it also has sort of that granary base that I am somewhat familiar with if you drink a lot of Pu'erh. Alright, and I'm going to drink this first, and then I'm going to see how that will affect my next infusion. Alright, cheers guys. So this tea has sort of what I would describe as like a drying, slightly sweet, slightly fruit astringency to it that sort of dries out your mouth. The body is a little bit thinner than it was for the first 2 steeps, so I'm going to go ahead and push this to 10 seconds, even though that might mean an even more astringent steep. Some of that fruit sweetness is definitely coming into it, and the fruit sweetness is something that I would expect would develop a little bit more with age. In fact, I think this tea might be the best one to pick up for the long term of the 2 cakes of the last episode, the Youle Purple and the Kongyang Gufeng, and this Youle, mainly because this has already been aged for 5 years, so you can a lot more easily project the aging path of it, and because I think it's also the strongest of the 3 teas. It has an astringency, which will hopefully age out of it, and I think some of those fruiter, especially if you like fruity teas, some of those fruitier notes will continue to develop over time given the proper storage. So as I expected, sort of that thicker body, the body is thickened back up given the longer infusion time. You know, one interesting thing I noticed with this tea is I actually broke off, I was drinking this tea maybe about a week ago. I broke off quite a bit of tea, and it was too much, so I tossed a bunch of it in the tin. And so I'm actually drinking the tin, the tea from the tin here. So I think, and I've noticed that the aroma, at least judging from my memory, is a lot more enhanced. So I want to do a few more comparisons with tins, specifically in regards to aroma. When you're doing that, so for these aged teas and stuff like that, I'm sure that the interactions are a little bit different than if you were to do it for like a young shung production like this tea. So I think in the next episode maybe we will compare a piece of the tea taken directly from the cake versus something that's been tinned, but not have it be aged, but have it be something new. So I'm largely thinking aloud here, but let's see. Let's keep drinking this tea. So it has that grainy base to it, a lot of fruitiness that is pretty pleasant. I'd say that's the main acid of the tea. A lot of strength, which leads me to believe that this tea could just, you could buy 3 of them, drink one slowly, and once you're done with that, you can compare it with some of the cakes that you've been aging. Yeah, very straightforward tea. It's not overly complicated or anything like that. It is about what you'd expect from a tea like this, but I would definitely give it a thumbs up as far as just being a decent tea all around. Let me know what you guys would like to see next. I'll probably do that scorch comparison and then maybe move on to some nicer iwus in the up-and-coming episodes.